Hi, I'm Randy Vance. I'm here at the Miami International Boat Show today, where Furuno has just introduced their brand new NavNet TZtouch GPS system. It's got some of the coolest touch features on it, and I'm with Dean Kurtz. He's the marketing manager. And Dean, you're going to show me what you've got going on here, but tell me, what does TZ mean?
TZ means time zero. That's the technology behind this product that makes for fast redraw and no delay in the chart. That's why we call it time zero, and it's a touch-based product. NavNet TZtouch is the newest member of our NavNet product line. It joins our award-winning NavNet 3D system. But we've gone into a touch-based environment now. Now, there are a lot of touch screens on the market today, but what differentiates NavNet TZtouch is the fact that this is the first multi-touch based MFD product in the marine electronics industry. So when you take a look at some of the gestures we're going to use here, you're going to see how very simple it is to navigate with this new system. If I simply place my finger on the screen, I can begin immediately panning or scrolling the chart. Randy, this is where we have our time zero technology coming into play. You see there's zero redraw or delay in this chart redrawing on the screen, a very fast refresh. We're using an Intel dual-core Sandy Bridge processor, state-of-the-art processor in this box. Now that's a single touch gesture, and a lot of people have that. What makes this system unique is the multi-touch gesture. The first one I'll show you is very familiar to those of you that use smartphones or tablets, and that's the pinch to zoom gesture. So rather than having to hit a plus or minus key on the display, I can simply isolate a spot and immediately zoom in or zoom out on that position by just simply doing a pinch and zoom gesture. We also have maintained our roto key interface, so if you're in rough seas and you want to just grab onto something quickly, you can also zoom in and zoom out by simply turning the roto key. The next multi-touch gesture we can take a look at actually is orientation of the vessel. So right now I'm operating in a north-up mode. If I want to quickly switch to a course-up or heading-up mode, I touch my vessel icon and I simply swipe with the other finger, and I've now changed the orientation of my vessel from course-up to heading-up. We also introduced 3D cartography several years ago, and we've carried that forward into NavNet TZtouch. We want to make it easier for our customers to get into a 3D mode, and we've done that with this multi-touch gesture where I simply begin swiping up on the display and orientating my vessel and my 3D mode. Very simple. I'm in this 3D realm very quickly. It's important to note that TZtouch is a totally native 3D system, so anything you can do in 2D, I can do in 3D, like lay down routes, waypoints, it's all available to you. If I want to switch back to 2-dimension, I immediately switch back to my 2D mode. The last multi-touch gesture we'll take a look at is actually a custom gesture that you yourself can actually program into the system. I've taken our home key, which brings us to our display page, and by simply just tapping on the screen with 2 fingers, I'm immediately brought to my home screen. This is where I have my display carousel, where I can actually choose which display I would like to use at any given time. So if I want to quickly switch, for instance, to my radar display, I just tap on radar, and I'm brought to our dual range radar display using our ultra high definition radar sensors. If I tap again and I want to go to the fish finder, I simply have on demand to my fish finder. Very simple to navigate through the system. Now, if I go into this, the other nice thing I can do is actually customize this display carousel. I can simply hit edit, add a new screen, and this is how simple it is with the touch screen to add a new page. Let's say I want a screen that has 3 components. I simply drag that icon over there, divide up the page, and if I want to make this a fishing-centric page, I'm going to bring my fish finder up and draw it on half the page. Then I'm going to take my chart plotter and put it in the lower right-hand corner, and my instrumentation display up here. I hit save, and immediately I've built a page and I'm ready to go, and that page will now be always accessible in the home page area. So very, very simple to build custom pages with NavNet TZtouch. We'll go back to the chart plotter a second. One of the other things we wanted to do with a touchscreen is actually make creating waypoints and routes and just general navigation easier and more intuitive for a user. So what we're going to do is simply lay down a point. We talk about making this product as simple as touch and go, and I can show you an example of that. I can simply choose a location, touch, and go. And now I've established a new go-to point right there. My vessel is navigating now to that position. If I'm connected to an autopilot, I'm immediately navigating to that position. That's how simple it is to start navigating with TZtouch. If I want to lay down new routes or waypoints, I can simply touch a location, say I want a new point, and I've established a new waypoint. If I want to move that point, simply can choose move, and I can drag it and move it, or tap anywhere on the screen to get that point moved. If I would like to go in and edit the point and name it, one of the challenges of touchscreens is that they're great to access information, but to input information can be difficult. So we've added a very generously sized full QWERTY keyboard where you can easily enter a waypoint name with no problem. So it's very simple to get your waypoints and routes named and edited with TZtouch. The last thing we want to cover in navigation is laying down a route and how simple that is with the touchscreen. I simply establish my start point, I choose new route, and you'll notice I have a start point. I'm going to use my zoom out function with my pinch, and now I'm going to start laying down points. And what you notice is the system actually kind of starts helping me along in the sense that I don't even have to pan the chart. It kind of knows which direction I'm heading in, and it knows I'm laying down the points, so it does the panning for me. One of the other unique, nice little features we added in here was with a touchscreen, you can sometimes make an error in your contact with the screen. So if I accidentally lay down a point on the screen, for instance, we've put in a very handy undo function. So I can actually just simply remove the accident I created. A lot of times in the past, you had to go into the route or cancel it out altogether and start over again. Now, I have the ability to easily undo multiple steps in the route, and even if I undo one extra, I can redo it. Very simple. Once I have the route in place, I simply save it, and you see that I have a good overview of the route. Editing a route is just as simple as editing a waypoint. I can simply choose a point in that route, choose move, and I can move that point on demand. If I want to insert a new point somewhere on this line here, I can just choose insert, and now I've inserted a new point into the route. It's that simple. If I like to delete a point, let's say this point along the route, I delete. But you notice that's actually a problem there because I'm navigating over land. So I realize that and I hit my undo and I have my route back in order.
Dean, I'd say you have at least a dozen touch control features on this unit that I haven't seen on another unit. I understand you also can do some touch controls, but through an iPad.
That's correct. We actually are introducing two apps. One's a remote app and one's a viewer app. And if you'd like, I can show you those apps in action.
You know, I think that's going to be a strong story in itself. So what I want to say is this is the Miami International Boat Show. This is the NavNet TZtouch, and it's pretty cool. You need to take a look at it.